Mwachoma, it's a lovely good afternoon. Kapana kamba na shitundu chako correct, I don't know. But anyway, it's another lovely Saturday, a hot one as I can say it. And we are here again to give you nothing but the best in terms of sports highlights and whatever is happening, what's new in terms of the transfers. And I'm always never alone. But before that, I'm your host, Amos, aka Amure, and welcome to Off the Pitch. And anyway, I'll allow my fellow colleagues to introduce themselves.
We've done it again. Good afternoon, dear viewers, and welcome back to another wonderful show. Like Amos said, self-introduction. I am Rapson, that's my name, and we are here for yet another great show.
Good afternoon to the viewers out there. Augustine Mwanza here, aka Rio Flowers. We are back on set again, and it's not by power nor by mighty, but by God's grace. And it's been an exciting week. We've seen some good development at Nkana. There's a sponsorship deal which has come through, and the goalkeeper Stevens was paid, so maybe the transfer ban may be lifted upon Ghana. I think it's good news for Zambia. It's good news for Ghana.
I'm gonna.
He's preempting what I wanted to talk about.
No. So he's covered that already.
Yeah. It's been a wonderful week at Nkana FC. We've got a sponsorship deal with Betway with $170,000 each season for the next 3 years. Then we also have 10,000 replicas that have been offered to the team, and for me that is a great boost. When you look at what is happening now, even CAF has offered because of COVID. Every team that is participating in the CAF competitions will be given $50,000 for each travel. So the financial blues at Nkana are now history. We are in for it, and hopefully, like Augustina said, Steven Adams was paid, I think, if I'm not mistaken, something like 50%.
Half 50%.
50%, yeah. So probably by the time we are receiving this massive boost before the transfer window closes, we'll be a force to reckon with.
Now, hope so. We are hoping so. Anyway, that was just a brief information from Augustine and Rapson in terms of what's happening with Ghana FC. And Rapson is surely telling us to say Ghana will be a force to reckon with. But anyway, before we give you whatever is there, we've got a guest in the studio who is going to be joining us later on to give us one or two information in terms of what's happening with their club and the way forward. But for now, we'll just take a short break. And after a short break, we'll go direct into our clip showing the under-15 national team coach Chisimbe giving an update over the past week in terms of the selection of the 23-man squad which is traveling to Croatia today, which has already traveled in short. Let's take a short break.
Are you a filmmaker? Well, you are exactly what we are looking for.
Tamna TV is calling on local filmmakers. For more details,
you can visit our headquarters in Ibex Hill, next to Hilltop Hospital.
Contact us on
0962 444 726. Cabinet TV.
Not just another channel. Msika is here. We have you all covered with just 150 kwacha. You can advertise every day from 17 hours to 18 hours. For a 30-second ad, get the benefit of selling your products and services on Msika. For more details, call our marketing department on +260 953 995099 +260 962 444 726 or +260 971 177 467. Email us on info@camnettvafrica.com. Terms and conditions apply.
We did the selection for the 23-man squad, which will be traveling to Croatia on Saturday. The doors are still open to those young kids who did not make the final list. As you have heard, this project is to develop these youngsters into great players, future players for the national team.
Please mark my word. In these 23 players that coach has chosen and we have assisted and whatsoever, I have seen at least 5 players that will not be just African stars, not just Zambian stars. They will be even world-class stars, in my personal opinion. Not mark my word. I'm not the person speaking empty. I'm speaking with credibility of a coach that has given to the world football, even former captain of Manchester United, Nemanja Matic, being his Nemanja Vidic being his coach for 5.5 years.
So if we can capture the correct ages, then we are sure that we can, offer them proper training programs that will ensure their development in the future. So we have done all the work that we have, with the schools, the parents, and the coaches to ensure that these boys are actually the age that they claim to be. To those who have missed out, we've created what we call a national player database. Yeah. So every player who came for trials, we have them on the database. We'll be tracking their progress. Even just after we announced the team, there were some injuries. We had to call some players again from the database, those that had shown a lot of improvement. So it's not the end of the world. They're still in the national setup, and hopefully we can still go back to them, check their progress, and if we feel they've reached their competitive age, then we still give them a chance to play for the national team.
Well, welcome back. That was Chisimbewe, the under 15 national team coach, and Lyson giving their view and whatever the way forward is concerning the under 15, and they've traveled today. I think the flight started off at 13 sharp. I don't know if it's 13. Is it 13 already? It's starting off at 13. That's if it hasn't yet started off. So, Ango Rapson, I think I'll go straight to you. How beneficial is this in terms of the under 15?
Well, when you look at the grassroots football that the Football Association of Zambia has embarked on, it's been a long journey. I think the president started discussing that at the time when he was being elected. He clearly stated that he would deal with the grassroots, start with the young groupings, and for me, we have seen all the provincial teams benefiting from the FAS programs of financing them. We have seen the under 15 now being taken on by Chisimbewe, who was appointed recently as the national team coach. And for them to, I saw the young boys when they were coming for trials. There were over 500 youngsters coming for trials, and for a squad to be trimmed back to 23 players, I'm sure there's been a lot of great work that has been done in the team, and we can only wish them well, because I'm sure as they are flying to Croatia, they've got a friendly, they are playing against Zamalek under 15, I think, if I'm not mistaken. For me, it's a great milestone in terms of football development if we focus on the youngsters, because this is the same group that will shift to the under 17, and by the time Qatar is coming under these under 15s in 2022, 1 or 2 players might be lucky to be one of the youngest stars in the team.
Augustine, how would you rate the participation in terms of them going to Croatia? It's a tournament that and I think for the past few weeks we've been seeing them having friendlies, and they've been doing wonders. Are we still seeing the same?
I think it's a very tricky situation, because Zambia's under 15 is less than a year, and then they're going to face teams who have started from the under 12, maybe under 10 from their national respective countries. They have been growing through the ranks. I think now as this is our first project for these under 15s, it will be very good exposure for them, and at a very young age that they get exposed to the international stage. I think what's important is that as we are dealing with this under 15 national team, we have to do the same with the clubs, because it won't be making sense if we just deal with it at national team level, but when you go to our clubs, we don't have a league for the under 15s and the under 12. I think it all starts from the club, so that we can be the coaches at least can be having a very good base to select players on. There were about 500 players that were selected, and then trimmed to 2023, which was being monitored by the national team coach and also Adi Mutapa with the coach Chisimbewe and his assistant. I think it's been a successful one from what we have heard from the coaching staff. They are very impressed with what they saw with these young boys. It's all about now them trying to go to Croatia and try and learn something in Croatia, because basically these guys, most of them is the first time, maybe the entire team is the first time that they are going to such a big international tournament, which it will be a plus for them. We heard Milutin talked about the likes of Luka Modric and Ivan Rakitic. They played this tournament once, and Michu said that in the near future we will have 5 players from this. Will be not just stars of Zambia, but the world. I think it's very interesting. The coaches are happy with what they have done, and they are ready to go. I'm sure they will have a very good tournament. Maybe quarter-final, maybe is it semi-final? Yeah, maybe a semi-final berth will be very, very good for us. I think whatever happens there, it's not about the results. It's about the performance that the boys put in and what do they get from that outing. I think we shouldn't put pressure on developmental to try and produce results. No, we're just trying to produce future stars. I think that's what we should put on Chisimbewe. It's whatever happens, whether Zambia finishes last in the group, it will be a success. Whatever happens, this is the first thing that's happening. So we have to be very positive. What we need to tell these boys is that go out there, enjoy yourself, and express yourself. I think that's the best way we can approach this tournament.
That was just a quick one on the under 15s who've just left today. And for whatever will be happening in Croatia, we'll keep you up to date. You can just follow our page, which is Camnet TV, like it, and we'll be posting everything that will be happening in Croatia in terms of the under 15s. And we wish them all the best. We always go in the field, or maybe we always move around trying to expose talent. And this time around, we caught up with one of the Ghanaian, he calls himself the Ghanaian International, who is doing his trade here in Zambia, and we had the chance to profile him, and hope you guys will enjoy this clip.
I'm Day Steven, a Ghanaian international, a midfielder, into bracket a versatile 6 or 8. Airport Warriors. My football career started somewhere in grade 7. Yes, that's where I decided to play football. Ex-Ghanaian skipper by name Stephen Tornado Apia. As a footballer, I always dreamed to be a professional footballer. So I had a chance to travel to Zambia, and I don't want to abuse that chance. So I just have to take a step. Because there is a saying that in your comfort zone, you can't easily make it until you go elsewhere and fight hard. I do plumbing. I can't say much, but previously I heard Zambian football is somehow down, but now at least there is an improvement. According to the calendar, it's not, because I believe Zambians are doing better because they are going according to the Europe calendar. Shima. Shima with Dereri. My dream is to be a professional, not just here in Africa, but somewhere in Europe, in a top flight. Anywhere the Lord intervention will come, that's where I would like to play. If God's grace I get the call up, I'll be happy to play for my country.
Welcome back, dear viewers. In the studio this afternoon, we've been joined by One Chazi, a media officer from Nkwazi Football Club. Chaz, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. The pleasure is mine to be here.
Okay. Looking at Nkwazi Football Club and the position which they finished in the league, how are the preparations going on for the upcoming season?
So far so good. We've had trials, successful ones. We've seen some talent others may have not yet seen, but then with time, we're going to show the talent to the world. So we've had training for the last 3 weeks, and then we're preparing ourselves for pre-season in Livingstone. Should be any day next week.
Okay. When you look at the way Nkwazi Football Club finished the season, and I'm sure you've lost one player, the only one I know that left Nkwazi and joined Zanaco Football Club. Any hope of new? Have you signed on any new players that have come on to beef up the squad for the season? When you look at the sponsorship that you guys have and your performance in the league last season and what you want to achieve this season, we expect a lot of changes from the squad. Any particular new players that you've signed on as Nkwazi Football Club?
At the moment, we can't disclose of the players we have bought or who we're eyeing. But then we're going to have a date next week where we'll have the player unveiling. So we'll have unveiling of players. I'm sure you guys are going to be around. You'll be invited and then you get to know the players. In terms of where we finished last season, many were disappointed. We spent most of the season at the bottom half, the wrong end of the table, which is not like Nkwazi. But then going forward, yes, I know you're not going to agree with me, but then if you had to look at the season before, we were pushing for the top spot. We were just, I think, 3 or 4 points off Green Eagles in the transition league. Yeah, we had a very good season that period. But then this season, our start was affected. We had a poor start. We had to pick ourselves from a poor start after I think we went 11 games without a win. We were building from that. But then football in Zambia or football everywhere is won in the first round. So your performance is based on what you do in the first round. We didn't perform very well in the first round. In the second round, we're playing catch up, and the games were cut. But if you have to go with our performance team by team, you look at the top 6, none of the top 6 beat us home and away. If you go through your stats right, you see we managed to beat Zesco, we beat NAPSA. I think the only team that we never picked a point from, the only team that beat us home and away last season was Green Buffaloes. That should tell you a lot. It shows you that it was because of the hiccups in the first round that made us finish poorly. But going forward, the team is going to be strengthened, obviously. You've seen what Makinka has done, our new head coach, Dennis Makinka, assisted by Coach Kangwa Brown, the former Zanaco player, and Keegan Piri. They have brought in some fresh life, some new energy in the team. You can see, I don't know if you watched the Zanaco game after the season started, the game at Sunset. We played very well. I'm not speaking because I'm a
I was at Sunset Stadium that day. I watched that game.
You can testify, Nkwazi played some beautiful football, even though they had 5 of their starters not in the team. So going forward, they are going to be a force to reckon with, like they have always been. If you are going to look at the table, the previous 4-5 seasons, it's just last season that we had a very bad season. 2 seasons ago, I think 3-4 seasons ago, the first time we returned in the Super League, we managed to go all the way, Barclays Cup. we lost in the final to Green Buffaloes, and it was a narrow defeat after playing very well. We have a good side. Going forward, Nkwazi can challenge for the title. So I don't know if you guys are going to be with me on this one.
I think that's where I was trying to come to, because I remember the league was supposed to resume on the 18th of July.
Yeah.
When we had gone on a break. Then I heard a podcast which was done by Lucky, and the coach Dennis Makinga said that what our focus now is to try and run away from this relegation fight and then get into the top half and then challenge for continental football. But then I realized it's not realistic because there were about 10 games to go and Kazi we are fighting the drop. So is this something that you are sharing with management and the football club to try and pursue continental football?
Yes, it is. I think every team's dream is to win the league. But then along the way you have hiccups that you have to understand. So if you look at how Nkwazi have been playing, they haven't been a bad side. If you followed Nkwazi very well, you know Nkwazi is no pushover.
Very true.
I have told you about the statistics from last season. Top 6, only Nkana beat us. I think Nkana beat us on the Copper Belt. Napsa beat us at home. We beat Naps at their home ground. We beat Zanaco away. We beat Zanaco at home. We got a goalless draw at their home ground. Yeah. So that should explain how Nkwazi are going forward. We had some changes after Coach Chris Kaunda left us. We had Dennis Makinga come in. It was all about him steadying the ship. He managed to do that. The main goal, the main target was set. Survive, don't get relegated. Then once we survived relegation, we have to plan a step ahead. And a step ahead, we finished 12th last season. But then, believe me if we finished the season off, we would have maybe even broken into the top 6. Because you look at the points difference, it wasn't so much.
Yeah.
So
even GBFC, who think finished 11, I think they were 11 points away from the number 1 team. I think it was very, very close.
And Nkwazi was just 4 points away from 4 or 5 points away from Green Buffaloes. So it's we have a good crop of players. We have players that have stayed together for a long time. We have the experience of Msukuma is in the team. We have Jeff Banda. Jeff Banda has been around for a very long time. We saw Steve Mtama. He was one of the people that carried Nkwazi on his shoulders last season.
Yes, we played very well.
Yeah, Eric Chomba as well. We have the likes of Emmanuel Mwamba, Emmanuel Chabula up front. They have blended. They know each other. It's a side that have been together for a long time. Even if we have to buy new players, it's just one to come and beef up and complete the jigsaw that has been trying to be put together for quite some time.
I think looking at Nkwazi and Corruption, it's sponsored by the Zambia Police. How much of support do you see from the commander? Because I meant to understand you guys have got a new secretariat, which was built
specifically for the team. In terms of support, we get 100% support. We get, I think, 120%. Because if you remember very well, we played Forest away. The game wasn't on TV, but the Inspector General of Police traveled. He was there and he watched the game on the Copper Belt. I think that should tell you how much support is there. Whenever we have games at home, the Inspector General of Police is always there. He'll come through. Not only him, if he's not able to do that, he has someone to represent him. We have the office of the sports director. He's always there. He's always there with the team. Support, in terms of support, we get 120% support from the command.
Dear viewers, in the studio we've been joined by Charles, the media officer for Nkwazi Football Club. To the fans that follow Nkwazi Football Club, the phone lines are open. Feel free to call and ask Charles any questions that are concerning Nkwazi Football Club. If you want to get live updates from the man, he's with us in the studio and he's ready to take your calls. And for you viewers that are following us live, there is a question that is scrolling down on your TV screens. Please feel free to call in and give us your views. The question that is scrolling down is it okay if Kennedy Mwene, is it okay for Kennedy Mwene to leave the national team? Feel free to give us your opinions and we will gladly appreciate. Chaz, you've discussed some very, very rich history and the support that you have from the Inspector General of Police. I have seen him do a bit of jogging in the field. I think there was a game Nkwazi was playing, I think it was Nkana. I was at Edwin Imboela. I could see him at half time when the teams went on break. He was even jogging, trying to motivate the players. How does that impact on the team's morale and just the motivation that he instills in the team? Are you promising him this season that he is going to be rewarded? Because if you are, I'm glad you've spoken about sponsorship, which is like 120% of what is most of the other teams are not getting. But in terms of rewards, we've got a call on the line. We'll come back to you. Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. How are you?
Very fine, thank you. Your name and where you're calling us from?
Well, for the sake of, I'm international.
International from where?
From Savannah.
Okay, how's already, sir?
Very fine.
Okay, you can go through with your contribution.
Okay, I just want to say something concerning Kennedy Mwini.
Oh, please go ahead.
Yeah, when you look at Kennedy Mwini himself, I think he has done so much for Zambia. And we all know his experience and what he has contributed. But my concern, I'm not disappointed with his stance or not being part of the national team. But I alluded to the confusion that has been happening at first. You know, we have had this confusion to say these players really are for Kamanga and these players are for Kam. And those confusion has also affected the same players. And when you look back on the issues to do with the players, most of them participated in 24, that one in Africa Cup. Almost all those players have been having issues with the current executive for FAS. So I personally, I concur with him. He's doing the right thing so that FAS itself can fix up some issues before even calling. I remember one time, Kennedy was accused of match fixing. If you remember, there was a time he made a blunder by he made a blunder wanting to dribble the opponent's they scored. You know, he was accused of that. So I think for me, he has done so. Let other people pick up from what he has done.
All right, thank you so much for your call, for your contribution. We really appreciate that. Charles, we are about to wind up your interview with you. Any specific remarks that you'd want to share with the fans out there that follow Nkwazi Football Club?
I think from how we have prepared so far, the fans should expect the best. This time around, we won't be at the wrong end of the table. We promise them to be in the top half of the table. Not only top half, but top 6, top 4. Come the end of the season, I'm sure I'll be here and then you'll be talking about how Nkwazi have played in the 2020-21 season. In terms of the transfers, it's transfer window time. Everyone is linked to every team. I'm sure some teams might also be linked with you, depending on how you play when you go for your futsal games. So not until information is displayed or is given out through the right channels will you have confirmation that Nkwazi have signed this player has left Nkwazi. So as it stands, you just keep glued to the page, and probably the media, they will have to get information from the club.
Augustine,
I think my final question is all about the media. We've seen how it's been hyped in Tanzania, the way they hype their football clubs. How much are you willing to do as Nkwazi Football Club to try and sell the brand to everyone in Zambia and Africa at large?
We're doing our very best. It starts with what you guys have done. I don't think we used to have such platforms some 3-4 years ago where you get to call a team's media officer and then talk to them, go one-on-one with them on an interview, then ask the fans to talk to the clubs. It's something every club is working on, not only Nkwazi but most of the teams in the Super League. I'm sure you've seen how other teams have so far unveiled the players they've bought. It's not done in secret anymore where you just see the player, you go like, oh, he's now with Zanaco, he's now playing with NAPSA. But then even before the season starts, teams are unveiling their players, which Nkwazi is going to do come maybe Wednesday. you also have to see the Simba kind of unveiling where we invite. Unfortunately, we can't have the fans around.
Yeah.
But then if it was possible, we're going to have a day when we invite the fans to come to the stadium and then have the players unveiled to them, so they get to know their players. They get to Google their players, know how good the player Nkwazi has bought, what their strength is, so they don't expect what he can't do from that particular player.
There you go, dear viewers. We've had Charles in the studio who joined us from Nkwazi Football Club, the media officer. We are now going to take a very, very short break, and on the other side, we will have a clip and we'll continue with the question that is scrolling down the TV.
Msika is here. We have you all covered with just 150 kwacha. You can advertise every day from 17 hours to 18 hours. For a 30-second ad, get the benefit of selling your products and services on Msika. For more details, call our marketing department on +260 953 995099 +260 962 444 726 or +260 971 177 467. Email us on info@camnettvafrica.com. Terms and conditions apply.
We know that in November we should be getting back to revive our hopes to qualify to the AFCON 2022. But Chad is coming January 2021. So we spoke to our colleagues around Africa to give us a couple of friendlies, and among those countries is South Africa. We have scheduled a friendly game against that country on the 11th of October, after which we'll proceed to go to Kenya and play that country again in another friendly match. Before we play those two games, we're still looking at possibilities of getting another friendly game at home on request from the technical bench. We realized that we can't just go in and play South Africa without testing the waters at home first. So we want to prepare our team adequately.
We shall play one COSAFA team, one SEKAFA team Kenya, that will be in test for a Tanzania match in Chan, and South Africa, that will be the best test for the double header against Botswana. And this is our plan for Chipolo Polo October as a bridge towards November restart of the qualifiers, and looking to turn the corner in the right direction for the Zambia national team going to the Africa Cup of Nations 2022 in Cameroon.
For me, I think there was a lot of things which was going on with the national team. And for me, I think when they left me behind for these two games they played with Zimbabwe and Algeria, I think for me, I was still busy doing my goalkeeping courses. So I think for me, I think it worked to my advantage because I was busy with it. Reason being why they left me, I don't know. I don't have any idea. But, you know, you have to respect the coach, what he wants. So for me, I think I didn't have a problem. It gave me time to look at some other things. So, yeah, for me, I think, look, there will be always football politics, especially when we talk of African football. There is a lot of football politics. So for me, I think I don't want to engage myself in all those things, no. But for me, when they they asked me the same question, am I still available for the national team? For me, I told them, we'll see, I have to make a decision. But at the moment, I'm a bit busy. I even told them to say, there's a lot of youngsters who are coming to Ford. And I've been with the national team since 2004. I've been up and down with Sundowns now, up and down in Africa national team. The league here is waiting. I haven't had time for my family. But at the end of the day, I think when the country calls, look, I cannot say I won't play completely for the national team, but there's things they need to fix. The association, they need to fix a lot of things. So for me, I think at the moment, no. I'm not really. I'm not part of the national team at the moment. No, they have to fix they must fix their things first.
Welcome back. That was our Kennedy Mwene clip, and that was Adrian. Is it Adrian giving an update in terms of the friendly games that they've aligned for the national team? We were joined on set by Charles, and hopefully, I know there's a lot that he wanted to discuss, and we'll have him again on set with us so that he can give an update on what's further or the unveiling of their new signings. But for now, let's concentrate and look at the issue at hand, which is the Mwene issue. And there's a question going down there. Do we still need Kennedy Mwene in the national team, or is it okay to let Kennedy Mwene leave the national team? You can call in on the numbers that are there on your screens and give us your view and opinion, since an opinion is an opinion. And I'll start with you, Augustine. What's your opinion on it, or what's your view on it?
And I think Kennedy Mwene, if you look at Zambia as a country in our league and all the international goalkeepers that we have, I think none of them is close to Kennedy Mwene, if we are being realistic. I think if you look at Mwenya Chiwe, is it Mwenya Chiwe? Yeah, he's a decent goalkeeper, but he still needs to learn a little bit more, because he makes some errors in the PSL that on international level you will always get punished if you ask me. And if you look at in our local league, I think the closest we have, I think it's Jack Kakunta. And he's very, very far away from being an international goalkeeper, because Jack Kakunta was with the under 17, he was with the under 20, he never played any games at that level. Now for us to try and throw him into this big international stage, I think we may just kill the career of a young player, because not every player is like Patson Daka, mind you. Because what happens is that whenever you start playing for the national team, a lot of criticism, there will be a lot of criticism that we...
Let's just pick this call, Augustine, before we proceed.
Hello?
Hello, you are through to Off the Pitch, sir. Your name and where you are calling us from?
Yeah, I'm calling from Kasewe. I'm Alfonso Matika. They call me John O'Shea.
Former Manchester United.
John O'Shea. Yeah. You can go ahead with your contribution, John O'Shea.
Yeah. You see, in Zambia, you don't appreciate what people they do. But what we do is to mama a lot of my issue, my politics. You put politics in football. How can you develop this football of them? A lot of people it's like politics like Zambia, we are putting more family. You know, this thing is destroy this country.
Yeah.
So please, we need the Kennedy Mwene. He's the key player, that man. I'm telling you, this goalkeeper that you have developed, they can't manage, I'm telling you. That man, we need him so that he can keep confidence with this young chap. You know, with experience, mind you, experience is the best teacher. Mind you, if he's on the kind of bench, he can get to this young chap. You know, don't let us not make experiment in Zambians. While doing experiment, everything we are experiment. Please, if you are the coach of Zambia right now, that young man, we need him. We don't want to play around you, Golade. Do you have a lot of money? And why?
Take it easy, John O'Shea.
I like football. Zambian players, I like them. But administration, please, let them put the things in order. Let not be Mama Mboya.
Thank you.
They have now introduced grassroots, but let them put the things in order. We need to order things. Things should be in order, not in Mangali. That is the man, we need him, that was player. We need him. Of course, we need him. That game of Botswana, if he's not going to be there, Kaya Chap. Thank
you very much, John.
Well, I'll concur with the caller who just called in, and John O'Shea was on point. When you look at the way players mature towards retirement, I think if there's a position that respects experience and age, is the goalkeeping position. We've seen goalkeepers that mature with time. And not too long ago, you gentlemen, you concur with me that nobody believed Buffon would play up to that age. Buffon has been playing football, still playing football. When you look at his age, he's over 40 and he's still going strong. For me, when I look at Kennedy Mwene's maturity and his age and the football legs that he has, we watched him the last 4 or 5 games in the PSL when they were going towards the championship of the league. He accounted for himself very well. Like he said when he was interviewed during the course of the week, that
let's just speak this call and Robson. Sorry. Hello. Hello, you are through to Off the Pitch, sir. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
Your name and where you are calling us from?
Robert Mwene.
Robert?
Mwene.
Are you related to Kennedy?
He's my cousin.
Oh, Mr. Mwene, what's your take on this issue?
Yeah, I'm calling within Osaka.
Okay. What's your take on your cousin's issue?
It's not that I'm defending the big brother.
Oh, okay.
But the issue is, when you look at the football game we have now in Zambia, to get to the point, we need him and he should carry the band. He should be the captain to lead these young boys. Period. There's no need of any asking whether we need him or we don't need. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You see, like I was explaining before we picked up a caller, when you look at the available options back home for the footballers that we have, the goalkeeper, especially in the goalkeeping position, we have tried Tostan Sabata. We have Osi. Now, I'm not going to start commenting of my opinion over his performance, but we have seen these guys play for the national team. We've seen them play for Zanaco. I'm not focusing on one player in Tostan Sabata because I think I've been following him. There was a time I was watching a game at Sunset Stadium where he started the match and he was taken off. Very, very strange thing. So for me, and that is a goalkeeper that has been getting very close to becoming the first choice of the national team in the absence of Kennedy Mwene. When you look at Jack Kakunta, that is a young lad developing into a fine goalkeeper. But to throw him in the deep end, like Augustine said, would be like telling the player to say, go in the deep end of the pool and swim on your own. The man must be given time to develop. For me, all in all, Kennedy Mwene still has football in his legs, and I'm glad that when he was being interviewed, he didn't completely shut the door. He says, at the moment, I am busy. I am busy with other things. And let the Football Association of Zambia fix things administratively. He's still available, and the sooner we fix our problems, I'm sure Coach Mitchell will have a word with him administratively so that they resolve their issues. But clearly, we need a player of Mwene's caliber if we are to make a mark again. Mwene needs to come back, get that position in goal, start mentoring the young players. We've seen them make a lot of goalkeeping mistakes. Of course, Mwene has his own mistakes in the past, but I think the replacements that we have now, I have watched a couple of them. It's a disaster.
Augustine, we've heard they say at wine test. But anyway, before I go to you, Augustine, let's pick this call. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Afternoon, sir.
You are through to Off the Pitch. Your name and where you are calling us from?
I'm calling from Kitwe, Timothy Muganga.
Oh, Mr. Timothy, how is Kitwe this afternoon?
Very fine.
Well, okay, you can go ahead with your contribution.
Yes, I want to contribute on the Kennedy Mwene issue.
Yes, you can go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir. We still need the Kennedy Mwene. And the noise himself that we need him. Yes, but when somebody has said, I want to raise you, I want to do something, give him chance. He's not saying have nothing to do with the national team. Of his medium, and if anything, if you consult him, he can come back. But don't force him. Because even if you will not do the leader of the team, whatever will come up from him, they will say, Mohamed. So let him decide on his own if he wants to play for the national team or not. Because as the Zambians, no one is saying Kennedy cannot play. And maybe even the coach was emphasizing that Kennedy is on his top most.
Thank you.
So we have nothing to lose. We have nothing to lose. Let him decide. And Mbesuma na Wambi Ali Akibadi third weekend. They didn't do what they were supposed to do. But they did it.
Yeah.
So not to say you have that go for you don't have where he reached, he had been successful, come back, and he went to South Africa and he came back. They didn't just to say no. They do it and they came back. We have just to appreciate what they did at that particular time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Augustine.
Yes, sir. So if you look at this entire issue of Kennedy Mwene, I think there have been criticism that he didn't handle it well. He shouldn't have gone to the press to talk about administrative issues. I think the question is, are we being fair with Kennedy? Maybe he's talked to the powers that we need to put these things in place. Maybe something hasn't been done. That's when he has felt like it's now time for me to speak it out to the media. I think if you look at when it comes to the national team, we still need Kennedy Mwene because there's no safe pair of hands of, I think, in the national team to try and be in between those sticks for the national team. I think at the moment we will need Kennedy Mwene's guidance. If you remember Corruption in 2012 when we won the AFCON, Chintu Kampamba was part of that team not because he was going to play, but to motivate the young ones. I think that's why we still need Kennedy Mwene. I think we have got a problem here in Zambia. Why has he, look at Joseph Musonda, the way he left the international scene, Chris Katongo. I think we're not doing enough in terms of trying to let these guys bow out with honor. I think it's always such issues, then we'll never see them again for national team. But you see in other countries, they even have a testimonial for their legends to say goodbye to the nation. I think we need to handle these matters, I think, very, very well. We still need Kennedy Mwene. He still has got I think a couple of years to play for the national team. A Kennedy Mwene sitting on the bench at Mamelodi Sundowns is better than Tosta Sabatos being substituted at Koloma Stadium against Lusaka Dynamos.
Tosta Sabata.
I've already given you my peace of mind about the goalkeepers that have been called to the national team of late. We've seen them come, we've seen them go, and we keep going in circles. And finally, we went to Mwenya Chubwe and for a short period, he became our savior, played a couple of games, and still you could tell the difference that we still have a lot to go as a country in terms of the goalkeeping position. They are good goalkeepers. Let's not take away anything from them. Every goalkeeper has his own time.
They'll get better
but they'll get better with time. Like you said, Kennedy Mwene is maturing like fine wine. He needs to be at the heart of the national team, both in terms of leadership, in terms of motivation. He's got massive experience and he's got a lot of football in his hands. So we definitely need to have Kennedy Mwene back in goal.
So in short, is it only, we are looking at it in an aspect of motivation. But when we look at motivation, who is close to Mwene? Someone who we can say, if it would be hard for us to have Mwene right now, who is so close to Mwene in terms of these other goalkeepers? We've seen the likes of Mangani Banda performing wonders with the under 20, who some people started claiming to say he will succeed Mwene. But who? Okay, let's just pick this call before I proceed with the question. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon, sir. You are through to Off the Pitch.
Yes, good afternoon.
Your name and where you are calling us from?
Yeah, I just want to make a contribution on the issue of Kennedy Mwene.
Yes, you can go ahead, sir.
Okay. As for me, I think my take, we still need Kennedy Mwene. You know, I will just relate to some issues. You know, each person has got, should I say, a weakness in whatever he does. But as for him, I think he has a reason why he's saying issues must be sorted out by
FAS.
I'm sure. Yes, by FAS. And since he has got an accommodative heart, meaning that he hasn't completely taken over that he cannot play for the national team. He has that heart that he can still play for the national team. But there are issues which is mentioned. I'm sure it's good that he's given a chance so that FAS sorts out whatever is there and then give him a chance as well. Because I'll give you an example. Kennedy Mwene right now has got an accommodative heart whereby he can still play for the national team. Previously, we had a player who used to coordinate very well with Kamisha Wale last time, Charles Msonda. I think you know him. But what happened is that he just dumped the national team and then went. He never came back to play for the national team. So he didn't have that heart of playing for the Mother Zambia, you see, until such a time. So as for Kennedy Mwene, I think I'm sure he's got an accommodative heart. So as for me, I'm sure he can still play for that Mother Zambia. I'm sure just give him time. Let's pass whatever he's requesting. Let him be given so that at least that is sorted out, and then he comes back to play for the national team. I think that's a congregation.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay.
Yes, as I was saying, I think I'll hit the nail on the head. Who is so close to Mwene, who we can say we can depend on in terms of second choice position, or maybe first choice position if we have it so hard on Mwene?
You see, I'm just short of saying, you see, when you say who's so close, I would say there's none. There's a huge gap between Kennedy's experience and his performance and his contribution to the team. When you look at the upcoming goalkeepers, we've had them, we've watched them. I would mention a few, but you see, even the few that I'm likely to mention, you realize that game time at their club has been on and off. One of them that I can talk about is the Power Dynamos goalkeeper. That is an upcoming goalkeeper, very, very good goalkeeper. You have the likes of, for example, Mangani Banda. His career is neither here nor there. When you look at the way the former Zanaco coach Numba was giving him game time, you know, it's a situation where you are at a team which has three brilliant goalkeepers. There's Kola, there's Tosta, and there's Mangani. They kept on alternating them. For a goalkeeper to be very close to wearing the national colors, you've got to have game time, command that game time, beginning from the club level. The other player who is good and hasn't had enough game time at the club is probably Alan Chibwe. He's one of the best goalkeepers that I have watched, not because I watch Nkana a lot, but I think he's one goalkeeper that was developing and suddenly he lost his position at Nkana, and that is how he went quiet. So when you look at responding to your question, when you say who's very close to Kennedy Mwene, I would say maybe the one who's just close with a lot of experience at his club, who is playing football every week in, week out, is probably Mwene Chibwe from the PSL. But again, when you look at that,
and locally maybe Jack Kakunta.
Yeah, Jack, of course, Jack.
Who is, you must mention, who is unknown from Red Arrows.
I saw that coming. I saw that coming, Augustine.
I'm sure when he goes there, you start talking about the transfers, the player transfers.
Let's just speak this go. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yes.
I'm calling you from Lusaka, Joshua here.
Oh, okay, Joshua, you can go ahead with your contribution.
Gentlemen, let's face facts here. We still need Kennedy Mwene.
Point.
Emphasizing.
That is a fact. We still, if Mwene were to leave today, we do not have a goalkeeper that we can say, okay, this one is our reliable goalkeeper. I'm a diehard Zanaco supporter, but if we look at what Tosta does, Tosta is neither here nor there. If you bring in this boy from Power Dynamos, it's the same thing. You get me?
Yes,
so
yes.
the fact is that we still need Kennedy Mwene. No doubt about it. If we can groom 2 or 3 boys that can come in as this thing has to be gradual. Not just we say no, let Kennedy go. And then we have no goalkeeper that we can liken to Kennedy Mwene. The experience, and you know, goalkeepers are like fine wine. Okay? The older he gets, the better he becomes.
Yeah.
You get me?
Very correct.
At Manu, this fellow, at what age did he retire? Was it 45, 40?
41.
Okay. So, yes, so Rani, no jokes about it. We need Kennedy Mwene. We still need Kennedy. That's my contribution.
Thank you so much. That's a genuine fan, eh? Because getting his own team and the goalkeeper, he knows what Tosta is able to do. And I'm glad, like Augustine said, I think the closest that we can talk about is Jack Kakunda. He's close, but he's young.
But
still needs to.
He makes those errors whereby you see these are schoolboys. Remember the penalty he committed against Forest Rangers when Port Dynamo was up 2-0 at Davis Stadium. He committed a penalty where Zikiru was facing his own goal. He never even won.
It was not even dangerous.
It wasn't even dangerous, but he went and committed the penalty. So Jack he needs to learn. It needs to be a gradual thing. Remember when Evrena was coach, there were people who called the 2012 winners third legs, phase them out. Then United said that let it be a gradual process. He said it would be a gradual process. He started introducing the likes of Mukwamlenga slowly. But when Evrena left, we had Donna Janza as the coach. Donna Janza obliged to what the people wanted to say. Okay, let me do away with these third legs and then bring on the new ones. What has that done to Zambia national team? Up to now, we're struggling to qualify for the Africa Cup of Nations.
Even Kosafa.
Yes.
You just qualified by virtue of you being geographically located in Kosafa.
True.
But you can't win it. Talking about, we've spoken a lot about Power Dynamos and Kakunda. What is your take, Augustine, about Zakaria Chilongoshi's move to Power Dynamos?
It's one of the best deals during this transfer market because Zakaria Chilongoshi is one of the best left backs in the league, if not the best.
He's the best left back.
Yeah, he's the best left back in the league, Zakaria Chilongoshi. And him going to Power Dynamos, to see his style of play and the way Power Dynamos play, I think he suits them because Zakaria Chilongoshi had a lot of assists as a defender in the league which just ended. I think he was topping in terms of assists when it comes to defenders. He will be a very, very good addition to that Power Dynamo side, and I see Power Dynamos finishing on top of their noisy neighbors.
Oh, you mean Peter United?
No.
Let's pick this call before Robson comes in. Hello. Hello. Good afternoon.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Okay. How your name and where you are calling us from?
I'm calling from Mississippi. This is and I'm calling from Mississippi.
Try to speak up, sir.
I'm calling from Mississippi. This is Justice Yende.
Oh, okay. How is Tezi this afternoon?
Mississippi is fine. We are working calmly. We are very happy. Now we are living.
Thank you very much, sir. Your comment?
That's a very good point. Over the Senate management issue, we are worried because we really need to get that gentleman to be in a system again. Yes. Now we are worried with some other comments which we have been seeing and say, no, Apula, Mutonga, to go out. We say very bad, man. They shouldn't be that kind of way. They give you. We lose Moraro. Some of us. No, they should choose the comment. Especially when you want to comment something. You should say, hey, there's no problem. Please. I've seen a lot of clips and the other messages commenting bad messages. So let's not bring Kenneth Mwene. We need that now.
Yeah.
And we should train other goalkeepers so that in the future that another people Kenneth Mwene. Thank you very much. That's what I can say.
Thank you very much, sir. Let's look at the price tag on Chilongoshi. We've been trying to vie to terms in terms of pricing our players here in the local in our local leagues, because we see there's a point that Cletus Chotachama raised. He was asked on an interview to say, would you come back, trade in Zambia with the Zambian national clubs? His answer was, if they offer me well. So is our market value now improving when you look at the price tag of Chilongoshi?
I think at least for a player like Zakaria Chilongoshi, I think it's good that he went on for 200. Is it 280? I think it's very, very good money for a player of his quality. Because what surprises me is that you look at a local boy. He's offering better, even better than the foreign players. His contribution to the team, it's number one, but you find that he's being paid less than the so-called foreign players. If you look at the way we have been structuring our league, it's been attractive for these foreign because they are being paid a lot of money. I think it's very, very sorry how we have valued our players so less that when we bring in these foreign players, they get paid well, but our own players don't being paid to the standards that we would expect. I think it was a time when we were watching some tournaments, just these compound tournaments, you could see the difference. You see this guy is a foreign player who has come to play in our league, and you see the quality, what is displaying on the field of play, and you look at the young Zambians who are being paid less, and then you wonder, why did they go and get such a guy? I think, to me, we need to get to these standards whereby we will pay the local players just as equal as the foreign.
Yeah, because when you look at it, like last night, I had an opportunity of discussing with one of the Power Dynamos fans. There's a guy called.
Let's speak this call. Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Your name and where you are calling us from?
I'm Reverend Smomba calling from Livingston.
Oh, how is Livingston this afternoon, sir?
Livingston School and a bit hot.
Same applies here.
Okay.
You can go ahead with your contribution.
My comment on Kenneth Duane is that let's be real here. Kenneth Duane.
Sorry, we lost the call. Sorry, Reverend, you can call us back. The lines are still on. We want to get your opinion. Like I was saying, last evening I had an opportunity of discussing the Zakaria Chilongoshi's move to Power Dynamos. I had a friend of mine, Mlenga, who is a die-hard Power Dynamos supporter. And one of the things he said is, kudos to Coach Perry for bringing in a player of Zakaria's caliber, because I think the first game I watched Zakaria, he was playing for Prison Leopards way back. You could see the talent. The guy is a proper left back, natural left back. He overlaps, he's got the skill, he's got the talent. And when you look at Power Dynamos getting him to be their left back, challenging one of the best players of the recently ended season, Luka Chamanga. You begin to sit back and say, what is Coach Perry trying to do here? He's building competition within the team, healthy competition within the team. I wouldn't be surprised if Luka gets overtaken by Zakaria, because Zakaria's talent is just a marvel to watch. That boy is a marvel to watch. But Coach Perry is building a team, and I think Power Dynamos, for once, they are my noisy neighbors, but I will say this is one of the best buys we'll ever see in this season. It probably, for me, if you ask me, it even beats Muba's move to Zesco United. Because that is a talent that a lot of us who watch football will say, we have seen this boy play football, and for Power Dynamos to pay that huge amount of money, that boy is just on a stepping stone to Europe. It will not be too long from now. That guy will probably play 1-2 seasons in the Zambian league, and you see the European teams coming for him.
Are we seeing, Augustine, are we seeing the birth of agents now? Because if we've seen, there's been a cry on... Okay, let's just take this call. Hello?
Yes.
Hello, good afternoon.
Afternoon, how are you too?
Well, okay, how are you, sir? Your name and where you are calling us from?
I'm calling you from Nangoma, in Mboti.
How is Nangoma this afternoon?
Nangoma is fine.
We thank the Lord for that. Your comments, sir?
Yes, I am just making a comment on the program running.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yes, my take is people, let's not deceive ourselves. Yeah, Kennedy, when his time is up, we have done as good as a nation, but for now, I think it's time for him to go.
But who will replace him, sir?
Yeah, we have these guys, the saboteurs of this world, we have the saboteurs of this world. Yeah, to me, if given time, they can do even much better than what the big man has done. For the two past AFCON, we had Kennedy when it begins the speech, we failed to qualify. Have you forgotten?
No, we have not, sir.
Yes, you are right. So now let's talk about it. Let's put the truth the way it is. The thing which is killing our game here is not the goalkeeper, it's the team itself, the defense is porous.
Yeah.
Even if you go and hire the gear to get the defense, give them Zimbabwe, they can score the game if for goals. Yes, let's just groom our boys, let's just prepare the team well. Let's forget about Kennedy when he had his chance, he did as well as a nation. It's time for us to move on, let's groom these boys. The team is dead defensively, not goalkeeping position.
Thank you very much, sir, for your contribution.
Yeah, thank you so very much. Kennedy Moine, let him rest, is the second choice at the Mamelodi Sundowns. What good is he going to bring when he failed at 2 AFCON?
Thank you.
I like divergent views. The man has passionately spoken about Kennedy Mwene having his time and.
So looking at time, are we still seeing some surprise signings in terms of our local clubs? Like we didn't expect Shilongoshi's sign to Power Dynamos. Are we still seeing something happening?
I think
this coming week?
There are a lot of transfer rumors that are going on. A lot of clubs are being linked with almost every player. If you look at the likes of Zesco United, the likes of Power Dynamos, they're believed to be doing further business. We've seen Green Buffaloes recall Gift Wamundia from Green Eagles, and when the Alan Chwe, the goalkeeper is just from talking about. I believe he's being linked with Green Eagles, and Spencer Sao too is being linked the other direction to Power Dynamos to move to Quito. Yeah, we still have got a lot of transfers, but we'll try and announce the transfers as they happen. When they are confirmed, that's when we will try and confirm, because even at Red Arrows there are some exciting transfers that will come through, I'm sure.
Uncle Rapson, just a bit, we have the playoffs.
Ajax versus the Black Leopards. I mean, our boys, they are trying to keep the place, the Premier League, the PSL position in the Premier League. We had a game yesterday. Ajax Cape Town was playing Black Leopards, and our very own boy Mwape Msonda was on target, and he scored a very, very brilliant goal. I think that was in the 79th minute, and clearly they have played 3, because I don't know whether you I'm sure most of the viewers understand how the structure is in South Africa when the season ends. The playoffs are now in a mini league. So now Black Leopards have played 3 and they have won all the 3 games. Their last game is coming up against some team that I can't feel. I always have issues.
TTM.
Yeah, you can just call them TTM. You know, the whole name is very, very difficult to pronounce. But they have lost their last 3 games. So they'll be going into their 4th game against Black Leopards to confirm whether Black Leopards will remain in the top flight football in the South African League. But I think it should be an easy match for Black Leopards, and we are probably going to see them back in the PSL next season.
Augustine, your closing remarks. Time is not on our side.
I saw something which was saying that today marks 33 years since Zambia beat Italy at the Olympics. I know me and you were not there by then, but Uncle Rapson was there. Yeah. So I think it's been an interesting show. Thanks to the viewers out there for tuning in, and thanks for Charles for coming through. And next week we will promise the viewers that we'll cover a little bit of women's football. We try and at least diversify, yeah, so that we'll try and bring on someone who is more into women's football, try and talk about women's football, but it's been an interesting show.
Uncle Rapson.
Well, It's been an interesting show. The English Premier League is back. We've got some exciting games, and I'm looking forward to a Super Sunday tomorrow, where Chelsea is playing Liverpool. That will be an interesting match to watch. To the viewers out there, I would like to thank you so much for being with us, and just for those calls that kept on coming in, the opinions and everything else. Much appreciated, and we look forward to the next show.
Just our
director is talking about Manchester United.
Yes, Manchester United is playing today
against Crystal Palace.
At 18:30 against Crystal Palace, and we hopefully you'll be glued, and hopefully our director will be glued as well, because she's been busy. Manchester United. But anyway, we've had an exciting show, and we thank Charles for finding time to come and give us an update on what's happening in terms of Nkwazi, and we'll continue making a follow-up on it, because he's just said it anytime soon. They will be unveiling their new signings, and we'll give you an update on that. And on the Kennedy Mwene issue, we hopefully something positive will come out of it, and we'll continue giving you an update as well on that. And for our callers who just called in to give us your views, we thank you. And for those who haven't had the chance to call, you can still give us your view. Just follow our Facebook page, which is Camnet TV, like it and comment on the page, and you'll be able to get back to you. We've come to the end of the show, and just like Augustine has said, we want to continue diversifying, and next week we'll give you something on the women's football, on what's happening in terms of the women's football, because we all know that Barbara is doing very, 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 very fine, scoring a lot of hat-tricks outside and giving a lot of assists. But anyway, time is not on our side. We've come to the end of the show. I've been your host, Amos Eke Amore. On behalf of the entire crew, I say bye-bye. See you next week. We're out.